Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Dragonhill Games, and you're watching This Week in MTG Finance. As always, and before we get started, I want to thank MTG Stocks for allowing us to use graphical information for the purposes of this video. So in case you've been hiding under a rock this week, Wizards dropped another bomb on us. That's right, we're going to be getting Double Masters August 7th of this year. If you missed the details on that, I'll put that in the top right corner of this video, and you can go ahead and check that out. So I do have to say that I think the timing on this is a little bit off. I mean, we have a lot of stuff coming up this summer, so we're going to have Corset 2021 pre-release at the end of June. Then we have Jumpstart in July. Now we have this Masters product early in August. And then September will bring us Zendikar Rising. And in between there somewhere, we're going to be getting the Chandra spellbook. So just a lot of kind of stuff. I think that, like I said, the timing could have been a little bit better on this, especially with everything that's kind of going on in the world right now. But that said, I really do like the idea that they're bringing back Masters product. I think Master product is an awesome idea. It's always a really fun draft experience. Yes, the price is a little bit high, and there definitely could be some stuff to be worked around there. I mean, we've all talked about that before. But price excluded, awesome product. Again, really fun draft experience, and it'll be a great opportunity to get some much needed, looks like a lot of Commander cards into the marketplace. So really excited for Double Masters. Looking forward to that in August. And of course, that is going to be affecting the market price, especially on cards that are obviously going to be in Double Masters. But more notably too, it looks like we're gonna be getting a bunch of Commander reprints. Like they've already spoiled Atraxa. They've already spoiled Kalia of the Vast. So those are two really popular commanders. They're also two really expensive commanders. So there's probably a lot of people out there that want to build these decks that maybe didn't want to invest in that commander. And then again, of course, these are expensive decks to build, right? I mean, if you're building something like Kalia, then you need Avacyn. You know, Avacyn's like $70-$80 card right now. Just get a really expensive deck. It'll be great to see some of these reprints and all of the cards that go into these decks. We're going to keep our eye on going into spoiler season for Double Masters, because anything that's not in Double Masters that works in things like Kalia and Atraxa and some of the other commanders that get printed in Double Masters will definitely be affected as well. So we'll be covering all that over the course of the next couple months. All right, let's get to how the markets reacted this weekend. We'll start with the top 10 winners percentage-wise, beginning with City of Brass from 5th edition. Currently valued at $19.75, and this thing is up 98% this week. Man, it's crazy that the number 10 card is up almost 100%. So City of Brass deals the damage to you whenever you tap it, but you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So massive commander demand. And yes, of course, this is kosher in every commander deck because it doesn't refer to any one particular color. So obviously huge demand for something like City of Brass, especially in the commander format. Now you can pick up the 7th edition one for still just around $12.30, which is obviously your best buy considering this one is almost $20. But most of them fall in the sort of $13 to $15 range, and they have some catching up to do. City Brasses are starting to get low in supply, and with that huge commander demand, this price is going to continue to rise if we don't see a reprint soon. All right, coming in at number 9 this week, we have Worldly Tutor, the classic 6th edition version. Almost $70 price tag on Worldly Tutor right now. That is crazy, and this thing is up another 100% this week. It's gone from $20 just back in early March to almost $70 today. So that is an absolutely phenomenal increase in price. Reality is this is just a huge demand for Commander. There is almost zero supply. I mean, 6th edition was, I don't even know how many years ago. That was like probably 98, 99, somewhere around there. So we're talking like 20 years ago since we've had a reprint on this card. It's time for Wizards to reprint a card like this, considering the demand. So look for this to possibly be a target in something like Double Masters for sure. But I mean, I went over to eBay and looked, and there's like 15 copies of Worldly Tutor on eBay. Most of them are like heavily played or various sort of foreign language type non-English versions. So yeah, the demand on, I mean, I have none in my store. Demand on Worldly Tutor, like I said, huge in Commander for sure, and there is just zero supply. So if we don't get a reprint on this soon, like in something like Double Masters, I could expect this to easily hit $100. Coming in at number 8 this week, we have Orum's Chant from Plane Shift. Currently valued at almost $30, and this thing's up 108% this week. It's been popping on and off the list over the course of the last month or so. We had a big jump in early March, going from around the $6 mark to doubling in price around $12, $13, and now we're hitting $30. The reason why we're seeing this price is because of supply of this card. Plane Shift's a really old set, so supplies are extremely low. We only ever had one other sort of printing, and that was a Judge promo, so that would really not affect the supply at all. Basically, Orange Chant is just a better silence. It has the kicker option, so of course both Orange Chant and Silence do the same thing. A target player can't cast spells this turn at instant speed, but then of course Orange Chant with the kicker, creatures can't attack as well. So it just gives it that sort of little edge over Silence. Obviously not legal in quite as many formats as Silence, so wouldn't see as such a wide range of play, but again, this price just has to do with current supply levels. Coming in at number 7 this week, we have Freed from the Real from Saviors of Kamigawa, currently valued at $4.16, and this thing is also up 108% this week. So Freed from the Real and by default sort of Penum's Aura both kind of essentially do the same thing. You can pay a blue to go ahead and untap Enchanted Creature. And the reason why these are getting a lot of attention over the course of the last couple of weeks or months or so is because of one of the commanders from Commander 2020, and that would be Zaxara the Exemplary. That's the Hydra commander, but he also has an ability on him where you can tap to add 2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Of course, if it's enchanted with Freed from the Real, we pay 1 blue to go ahead and untap Zaxara, and then we can just rinse and repeat each time we net 1 mana. So essentially, we can just go ahead and make infinite mana in virtually any color we want using this color combination. 2-card combination to get infinite mana, pretty good deal. Freed from the Real also has a reprint in Masters 25. Both of them are around $4, so you can't get this card for cheap anymore. So coming in at number 6 this week, we have Underrealm Lich from Guilds of Ravnica, currently priced at $8, and this thing is also up 110% this week. Underrealm Lich has all the right ingredients to be very successful in a format like Commander, that is for sure. It hits a bunch of tribal categories, so we have zombies and elves. It's a 4/3 that you can pay for life to give indestructible to, so also really difficult to deal with. But it has a unique ability. If you would draw a card, instead look at the top 3 cards of your library and then put 1 into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. So obviously in the right types of decks, this can be very successful and give you a competitive advantage for sure, being able to look at the top 3 cards each time you would draw a card and then just pitch a bunch into your graveyard. My son plays this in Gitrog Monster. It is amazing in that deck. Its unique ability combined with the fact that relatively low cost, all things considered for Commander, mythic rarity level, so we don't have massive quantities out there, no reprints yet, currently valued at $8. I would expect this to continue to rise, and actually this would be a consideration for future investment. So coming in at number 5, we have Afera, God of the Polis from Born of the Gods, currently valued at $10.75, and she is up 113% this week. I couldn't find a reason why Afera has more than doubled in price over the course of the last couple of weeks or week or so. So if you know, why don't you let me know in the comments section below? Probably just has something to do with the fact that Gavi Nestwarden is one of the most popular commanders from the new Commander 2020, and this feels like it would slot really nicely into that deck. Low supply, of course, being a mythic rarity and only printed in Born of the Gods, except for a secret layer drop series, which of course no one can seem to actually get delivered to their homes. Separate topic, I know. Brand new all-time highs, smashing through levels we've never seen before with Afera. So again, if you know exactly why this has spiked, why don't you let me know? Our number 4 winner this week is Cephalid Constable, specifically the 10th edition version. The reason why I say that is because the Judgment version is less than half the price. So Cephalid Constable is currently priced at $22.50, and this is up 182% this week. This card's been gaining a lot of attention over the course of the last couple of weeks, month or so, and the reason for that is because of the mutate mechanic. So whenever Cephalid Constable deals combat damage to a player, return up to that many target permanents that player controls to their owner's hands. So really good if you go ahead and attack with Cephalid Constable and then you flash in a surprise mutate guy, or you just mutate him into like some sort of big 6/6 trampler or something like that. Get in there and force your opponent to pick up a bunch of their stuff. Really good, obviously, in something like Commander. Been on the list a couple of times over the course of the last month. So our number 3 winner this week is Primordial Hydra, the Magic 2013 version, currently priced at $35.50, and this is up 222% this week. That Magic 2012 version also took a massive jump at $29, but still a little cheaper, so if you need to pick up one, that might be your option. That said, I think this card, it's been a while since we've had a reprint on Primordial Hydra. Big time card with demand for sure in Commander, and the reason why this is spiking this week actually is because of Commander, and of course that's because of Zaxara, the Hydra commander that we had mentioned earlier. So since we can easily generate infinite mana with Zaxara, then all of the X-Cost Hydras are big time targets. They're all sort of increasing. If you go down the list into the 15, 20 sort of position range, a bunch of the other X-Cost Hydras kind of popping onto the list. So Zaxara is definitely having a lot of influence on our list this week. All right, the next two cards on our list in the number 1 and number 2 slot both have to do with Gabby Nestwarden. That's the new cycling commander from Commander 2020. So let's start right here with number 2, Complicate. This is $3.75 and it's up 407% this week. Amazing. This one is actually really good. So Complicate is 1 blue and 2, and we counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. Of course, we can cycle it, and when we do, we counter a spell unless its controller pays 1. So really good with something like Gabby, obviously, because we can cycle for free once every turn. Free counter spells are amazing. This card has no other printings, which means that there is a relatively low supply because it was such a long time ago, even though it is in the uncommon slot. So this brings us to our number 1 winner this week, and that would be Brand from Urza's Saga. Currently valued at $30, and this thing is up an absolutely astounding 1,446%. Amazing. Slots right into Gabby, of course, being 1 red. At instant speed, we gain control of all permanents we own, and then, of course, it has cycling. So again, works really well in the Gabby deck. Not sure exactly how relevant its ability is, gain control of all permanents you own, but Anyway, so it's just amazing to see a card go up 1,500% almost in a single week. And it has to do, of course, with the extremely low supply of something like Urza's Saga. Cards never had a reprint, so would be in relatively low supply for sure. It's definitely a speculative buyout. So before I get to cards I'm investing in this week, as always, if you're a subscriber, you know I want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support. And if not, now's a great time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post at least 2 videos every week. So the first one I have for you guys this week is Ensnaring Bridge. The Masters 25 version is currently $30.50. The 7th edition one is actually a little bit cheaper, right around $30, but I'm not particular on that art. So if you are, that version is slightly cheaper. Great crossover card. It appears in Modern and Legacy, heavily played in both, with some Commander play as well. And that's what we're looking for in a card, especially when we're going to be investing this kind of money into one. Bottomed out at $27 around the middle of this month. So we're coming up off of those bottoms. If Ensnaring Bridge has been on your list to pick up, now is a great time to go ahead and do it, and it's also worth a look as investments. And the next one on my list this week is Return of the Wild Speaker from Throne of Eldraine, right around $2. This card's really been getting a lot of respect in Commander. So for 1 green and 4 at instant speed, we either draw cards equal to the greatest power amongst non-human creatures we control, or non-human creatures we control get +3/+3 until end of turn. So great utility card, either fill up our hand sort of mid-game, or great finisher, giving all our creatures and just swinging in there for that massive finish. Like I said, getting a lot of respect in Commander. This card's been steadily increasing. Throne of Eldraine is in the rearview mirror, so you're never going to get this card for any cheaper than it is right now. I've slowly and quietly been building up my stake in these talismans from Modern Horizons, namely Talisman of Curiosity and Talisman of Creativity, but all of the talismans from Modern Horizons are excellent purchases right now. So Talisman of Curiosity still can be had for like 50 cents, and even Talisman of Creativity at almost $1.25 is an excellent pickup, especially when you compare them to the talismans from the original Mirrodin block. I mean, these things are going for like $4.50, even up to almost $10 for Talisman of Progress. So with these talismans from Modern Horizons, I mean, all-time highs of $1.94 when they were originally released, and it's not going to be long before we will be seeing that all-time high of $1.94 in the rearview mirror. All right, and last but not least, we have our speculation plays for the week. That's right, it's Eerie Ultimatum and Ruinous Ultimatum, both from the brand new Ikoria Layer of Behemoth set. So obviously both of these are really amazing in Commander. They're extremely heavily costed, but both of them pretty much say GG. I mean, they might as well have printed that right on the card. Ruinous Ultimatum says destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. And Eerie Ultimatum is return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Seems pretty good in Commander considering all the cards in our deck have different names to begin with. Both of these have had all-time lows nearing around the dollar, and they're both around $1.25 right now. So we may not actually be able to get these for cheaper than they were. I was going to say if these fell under $1, I would be a heavy investor, but we may not ever see that dollar mark again. So even picking these up at $1.25 is an absolute steal. Even if you head over to EDH Rec, we can see that these are getting a lot of love in the 20% range in decks that they could be played in. So there's definitely going to be demand for these cards going down the road, and that's our speculation plays for the week. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this week in MTG Finance. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps me out, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.